Welcome back to a special Memorial Day weekend edition of Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, broadcasting on almost 200 great radio stations across America. The #1 national voice in defense of your Second Amendment rights. To be on the air with Tom, call us now, 866-825-5486 or 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom Gresham.
Well, I guess we're going to have to update that opener because we're well over 200 stations now, welcoming in more stations in the Tyler, Texas area, KTBB. Be picking up some more here in a week or two with some of their FMs. And, we're in Boston and Chicago and some of the places where they really need a reasonable, rational voice about firearms ownership. So, if you'd like to be a part of this thing we call Gun Talk, all you have to do is give us a call, 866-TALK-GUN. We're, of course, it's Memorial Day weekend, and we're celebrating that. We're remembering those who have given their lives and those who have given other things. We have a lot of wounded warriors who come back. And if you get a chance, just walk over and say thanks, say hi. Appreciate that. Give some thoughts to the families of those who have died, protecting you, protecting me, people who went to foreign lands to keep bad people from coming here. We go over there and fight them there, so we don't have to fight them here. It's a fairly simple equation. 866-TALK-GUN gets you in. Brian called in from, he's on line 3, by the way. Brian called from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Hey, Brian, what are you doing here? What's the deal with Taurus?
Well, Tom, I'm a fan. I've owned several so far in my lifetime, and I have a bit of a bone to pick with Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot of people that hate on them, but there's also a lot of us that love them, and I've done what you said. I called the company. I've texted them on Facebook and numerous other things. I would like to see Taurus take a page out of the book from SIG and possibly Glock, because one of the biggest things most of us have with Taurus is they really just don't have a lot in the way of customizability.
Okay. Now, what would you like to do? I mean, I'm trying to think of specifics. What kind of customization would you like to do to your Taurus products?
Well, for one thing, triggers would be something really awesome. You know how good a good trigger can be.
Mm-hmm.
So putting in maybe a drop-in trigger upgrade, possibly get some threaded barrels, maybe some other options where you can mess around with them and make them a little bit more to your liking. Or even maybe they could have their own suppressors like SIG's doing.
Yeah, I and I don't know. The question becomes, how does Taurus see itself in the marketplace? And let me explain what I'm talking about there. Do they see themselves as a SIG or a Smith & Wesson? Do they see themselves as a little bit less expensive, so we're not going to have a lot of the bells and whistles available as aftermarket? I don't know the answer to that question, but I think that may be part and parcel to the company culture of, do we offer a wide variety of aftermarket add-ons, of ways to customize, or is it approached as we essentially make an appliance that goes out there and it shoots, it works, and that's basically it. I don't know the answer, but I think that may be at the core, because you're talking about a company that's, yes, it's in the U.S., but the guns, a lot of them, I mean, not all of them, but a lot of them are made in Brazil. And yeah. They're owned by the folks in Brazil. And so you have this, how do I put it, not multicultural, but basically like a two-company or two-country culture. And there could be a clash there. I know, and I don't know about Taurus, but I know in other gun companies where their guns are made overseas, they often have a hard time communicating back, look, this is what the American gun owner wants. And the folks at the other countries where their guns are being made are thinking, no, this is fine. This is what people here want, and this will be great. We will tell you what you will need for your lineup. And they're going, no, that's actually not what Americans want. I don't know the answer. I'll tell you what I'll do, though. Next time I talk to Taurus, I'll see if I can get some answers for you, Brian. I appreciate the call. Thanks, sir. Alex on line 2 out of Tacoma, Washington. He's got a serious range report for us. Hey, Alec, I just got your email with the photos of the targets that you shot. We can talk about those. So how's this gun shoot? Well, first of all, tell them what you got.
Well, I got your GT20, the 10 millimeter, of course, and took it out. Had hunter ed class in the morning yesterday, and so afterwards I went and hit the pistol range and fired off a few rounds. Well, I guess, 4 magazines. So I got the gun Friday.
Well, first of all, when you got the gun and took a look at it, how did it look to you? Because I was pretty happy with the looks. That's one of the things I really want. I want it to be cool looking.
Well, I like the looks, and the weight was. I know you said it was all steel and heavy, but I was kind of surprised there. I don't have anything else that's. Well, I guess the only thing I have that's this big is a Super Blackhawk Hunter. So that's the only thing that rivals it, I think, in weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big old heavy revolver. I mean, a semi-auto compares with the revolver, but it. Okay, so that helps you when you shoot it, does it not?
Right, it does, and that's one of the first target I think I put in there was I had the hottest ammunition I could find so far is about 1270 feet per second at 180 grain, and so I loaded those alternately with some arm score that were about 1100 feet per second, and you can see that on that target at 25 yards. I couldn't tell a difference between shooting one and the other.
Isn't that interesting? I think that weight soaks that up. Now, I noticed that I was going to mention to you, all of your shots on all 3 targets that you sent are grouping to the left. Do you think? Oh,
yeah. I haven't tried to adjust the sights yet.
Okay, yeah, because that's the big deal. Is I made sure we spec'd it out with adjustable sights because, I mean, it's kind of a target-ish gun, but it's mostly a hunting gun, but you need to be able to tune it for the load. So you'll get that dialed.
And all I did was, like I said, I just ran some ammo through it yesterday because I wanted to shoot it. But since I was running out with trying to grab up all my stuff and run out for teaching at 7:30 in the morning, I didn't get I didn't bring my screwdrivers for adjusting the sights, so I didn't want to mess with that yet. But
well, and you know better than to use a regular old screwdriver.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that. I have a toolkit for that. I just didn't bring it, and that's not a push down because I don't normally shoot. I mean, everything's not shooting low and left. So I'm sure it's the trigger's
and
so
nice.
That
was the implied question was, is this you or is it the gun? And you knew that's what I was actually asking. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, that trigger's so light. I don't even push a double action revolver down that low.
Isn't that a nice trigger?
Yeah, it is. It is nice, and I normally shoot stuff that's got a lot heavier trigger. Mm-hmm. Double action revolvers or these new striker fired things. They have a lot heavier trigger. And
let me ask you, what's your plan? What's your plan for the GT20? Are you going to carry it? You going to have it in the woods? You going to hunt with it? What are you going to do?
I don't know. Shoot it. I don't have any. I didn't. You cost me a lot of money. So anyway, I listen to your show and then I go buy stuff and it's bad.
Cost me a lot of money. I'm my own worst enemy in this thing.
I mean, I don't need a lot of help.
Well, that's it. All I do is give you permission to do what you wanted to do in the first place, right?
Well, I don't ask. I just do. Better to ask for forgiveness than
ask forgiveness than permission. There you go. I appreciate it. Well, look, I appreciate the range report. That is excellent. I'm glad it's working for you and pretty excited. So there you go. All right, Memorial Day. Call us 866-TALK-GUN. That'll get you in here.
At Double Tap Ammunition, we hand inspect every round that we make, and we use only the best components to give you the best ammunition on the market. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
The 45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You need training. and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Crossbreed Holsters is broadening our product selection to serve more of your concealed carry needs. With products handmade in the USA, like the bedside backup, gun belts, and of course our world-famous Super Tuck and Mini Tuck holsters, we understand what works, and we take pride in providing you with a quality product. At Crossbreed Holsters, we live and breathe concealed carry. We make and sell products that we believe in and products that our customers love. To see more, go to crossbreedholsters.com. That's crossbreedholsters.com.
Accurate, powerful, consistent. At Double Tap Ammunition, we offer 364 loads in 83 calibers that give you exactly what you've been looking for. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
All right, we're back with you. Tom Gresham. It's 866 Talk Gun gets you in here. I had a chance to do something very cool this week. I had never shot, actually I don't know that I've even seen, a Coonan semi-automatic pistol. Coonan Arms, they make a 1911 that's chambered for the 357 Magnum cartridge. Yes, the cartridge that goes into a revolver, 357 Magnum. I got to meet Dan Coonan, which was very cool. Talk about your icons. And I got to shoot his pistol, and it was really neat. Had a bunch of fun there. It is a really nice pistol. I shot it really well. And maybe this is why I like it so much. We had about 40 people from the media there shooting this event, and I beat everybody. I smoked everybody with this thing. Because when I went up there, we were in the very last group of the day to shoot. And Dan says, all right, he says, here's the deal. So I watched everybody else shoot. You have to have A hits here. If you have anything less than an A hit on any of these targets in the speed event, you will be out of the running. I said, okay. So I just ran through, and it was, you ever have one of those days when it just felt easy? The sights were bright and clear, and I don't really remember. I just shot, moved. And I knew, before we walked up there, I knew they were all not just A hits. They were absolutely center punched right in the square middle of the target. When we walked up there, they were all exactly in the middle of the target with a really good time. And I never shoot. I know everybody thinks I shoot all the time. I shoot for TV a little bit now and then. I would love to shoot competition. Don't have time, and for whatever reason, all of the matches in my local area are all on Sundays when we're doing the radio show. But anyway, that's kind of a distraction, but I was very impressed with the Coonan 1911 and 357 Magnum. Very nice pistol. Man, I am self-enabling again. I should not be doing this. Okay, let's see here. I want to go down to Woody on line 1, Fort Smith, Arkansas. Hey, Woody, what you looking at?
I'm looking at the Taurus Curve, and I wonder if you've had any experience with it or any information on it. I
shot it when it first came out, and then I shot it again this past week when I was at this event. It was funny. It's interesting you asked, because the first time I shot it, when they first introduced it, I was not impressed, to say the least. I just didn't like it at all. And then I wasn't looking forward to shooting it in this basically a competition-style speed event. And I shot it, and I went over to the guy from Taurus. I said, did you guys change the gun? He said, well, no. I said, well, it feels better. He said, well, we did a few things after you shot it. I said, well, okay. And we talked about it, and they had actually made it a little bit smoother. The trigger felt better to me. Now, I mean, the things to understand is this gun has no sights on it. It is a point and shoot. Yes, it's got a laser, but there are no sights on this gun at all. It's kind of a strange, goofy, different gun. I would say before you commit to buying one, you ought to go get your hands on it and try it and see if you like it, because some people are going to like it and other people are going to hate it. And that's the way it is with things that are very different like that. But it shot okay for me. I mean, this is not a gun that you're going to go out and shoot a lot. This is a gun you're going to go shoot 3 or 4 magazines through, and then you might carry it, and you're probably not going to shoot it very much. If you're looking for a gun that you want to shoot a lot, I would probably move on to something else. And I think Taurus would agree with that. This is not an avid shooter's gun. This is a gun you carry. So there you go. That's kind of my experience with the Curve. Let me run down to Paul, line 4, out of Southern California. Hey, Paul. Hello, Paul. Are you there? I guess he's not. Okay, we'll put him back on hold, see if he comes back. Let's try Gary on line 3 out of Dayton, Nevada, I believe that is. Hey, Gary.
Hey, Tom. Great show.
Thank you.
I just recently bought a pig in a poke, as the old saying goes.
Ruh-roh.
It's AR-15. I got it from a neighbor, and he doesn't know anything about guns. He took it in payment for a job he did for someone. Appears to be brand new. And I thought, well, it wouldn't be too bad to have a 223 amongst our other stuff. Well, I got to looking, and there's a big, fat stainless steel barrel in it. And on top of the barrel is marked 300 BLK OUT.
You don't have a 223 yet, do you? You have a 300 blackout.
yeah. I got to looking, curious as I am, and the big box of stuff that came with it. There's about 500 rounds of ammunition in there, too. So turned out did pretty well. But the little cartridge, looking at it, I'm wondering, where's it somewhere between a M1 carbine and a AK-47 round in power?
I think that's a really good analysis. It's pretty much there. It's kind of, think of it as an AK-47, 7.62 by 39 type, really nice out to 100, 150 yards. Now, having said that, Jessica Brooks Stevens at Barnes Bullets told us that she killed a hog with that cartridge with their, I think they've got 110 grain Barnes bullet, and they're loading at I want to say it was like 280 yards. It was way out there for that cartridge. But I think you made I don't know what you had to give for that thing, but I love the 300 Blackout. I think it's a great caliber. So save your brass, because even if you don't reload, the people who do are going to want that brass.
Oh, yeah, we reload, and it's just a cute little thing. It looks like the 308 you left in the dryer too long or something.
Let me give you a quick safety thing here, okay? The magazines I would dedicate some specific magazines to the 300 Blackout and paint them or put blue tape around them or something, because it shouldn't be possible, but it could happen that if you put a magazine with 300 Blackout in a 223 rifle, and then if you jam the forward assist forward, you might be able to get it to seat and go or go into battery, and you might be able to get it to go off. And trying to put a 30 caliber bullet through a 22 caliber hole is never good. So I would have separate marked magazines for 300 Blackout, and I would, because the magazines are interchangeable. The 223 and 300 Blackout magazines are the same, but I would want to have separate ones just from a safety aspect. So it's just kind of my tip for you there. I appreciate that. Gary, I think you did well. I think you're going to have fun with that Blackout. I appreciate the call. Let's see. Tom at Lacey, Washington is up here. Hey, Tom, what's the deal with the Ruger trigger? What are you asking?
Yeah, so it's the Ruger BX trigger for the 1022.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so my question is, you know how they sell the aftermarket bolt release levers, so you just pull back on the bolt and it goes forward on its own instead of having to work with the trigger release thing?
Right.
Do you know if the BX trigger has one of those included in the trigger system?
I don't, because we have had it out at the range and done a little bit of TV on it, but I've been running cameras and not running the gun, so I've actually not shot the BX trigger. So, and I'm trying to delve deep into my brain on that one, and I honestly don't know, because I wasn't the one who's shooting the rifle. So I don't know. You might try the Ruger website or the Ruger forum. The RugerForum.net would be a good place to ask, because the folks there will know. And I'm sorry, I feel dumb. I should know that, but I just, like I say, I've not shot the gun. I've had it out at the range with everybody. I've tried dry firing it, but I haven't actually shot it and played with it and had a chance to use the bolt lock or any of that. So, well, kind of the way it goes. But yeah, a lot of times, and look, appreciate the call. A lot of times we're out at the range and we've got all these guns, and frankly, I'm running cameras for the various TV shows. We've been going crazy shooting video for the Guns and Gear show and the GUNTALK show, working with Chris Serino. And this week we had Chris Serino at the Bianchi Cup with his wife, Michelle, with their son, Colton. Colton was doing very well. Michelle had a personal best in her shooting at the Bianchi Cup. She is a hoot. She's got her M&P pistol with the rear grip panel on the back of an M&P. She's got a blinged up, kind of a purplish, sparkly color, like, I don't know, glitter. And then her earmuffs are purple glitter earmuffs. And wait for it, she wears a tiara when she is shooting in the match. So she has figured out how to have fun at a shooting match and not be so darn serious. And if she does really well after she holsters and everything's safe, we have several times seen her do a little dance. So that's fun. By the way, Steve just called in. He says the BX trigger does not have the bolt release. So that didn't take long. Get that answer for you. 866 Talk Gun. I'm Tom Gresham. Back with you, 866 Talk Gun. Just send me an email, tom@guntalk.com, on Twitter @guntalk. Don't forget, we have a big Facebook presence. Just look for GUNTALK or GUNTALK Media over on Facebook, and you can join us over there. Always sharing stories. You can share your stories there, too, as well. A lot of fun. Paul called in earlier, couldn't stay on the phone, but he was saying that he's really been enjoying the podcast that I've been doing, where I'm reading some of the works of my dad, Rich Gresham, some of his articles from his books, from magazine stories, that type of thing. And I appreciate that very much. I want to do some more. Along those lines, I just get this in. I started a program, I don't know what you call it, it's an effort. The Alzheimer's Association has this project, they call it The Longest Day. And if you go on the Alzheimer's Association website, it's alz.org. Here's the thing. Dad, who wrote so brilliantly, was a gun writer, the shooting editor of Sports and Field magazine, the host of American Sportsman TV, all of those things, the Miller Lite commercials, all those things he did. Dad ended up with Alzheimer's disease. He died of Alzheimer's disease. And just as a way of kind of commemorating him, but also as a way of saying, hey, gun owners are part of the bigger community. We are not people who kind of hide in the basement, hide in the bunker. We don't cling to our guns and our religion, as President Obama said. We're out there doing things and helping our fellow man as well. So I started this thing on the longest day for the Alzheimer's Association. It's geared to June 21st, which just happened to be my dad's birthday. That's Gritz's birthday. And so if you go to the Alzheimer's Association Longest Day promotion, just look for GUNTALK, search for GUNTALK or my name. You can see people have pledged anything from $10 up to $100. Essentially, I said, look, throw in a penny for every round that you shoot. I don't know, this year, this month, whatever. Pick a number, I don't care. And we're calling it the Million Round March. And I admit I have not been diligent in pushing this. I didn't want to force it on anybody, but I just kind of want to let you know, if you have enjoyed my podcast, my readings of Gritz's work, and it makes you think for just a minute, maybe you could toss in, the cost of a box of ammo. Pick a box that you like. Doesn't matter. Alzheimer's Association. It's alz.org. Look for the longest day promotion, and you can just find GUNTALK or my name there. I appreciate that. Jim is on line 1 out of Nebraska. Hello, Jim. What you looking at?
Good afternoon. I went into Cabela's for a different reason from what I ended up with. I had been looking at an M&P core. Really hadn't seen one, and to put my hands on it. They had one. I had spoken to Smith & Wesson, and I asked them what the trigger pull was supposed to be, since it was a performance center gun, and they said 3.5 pounds. Well, it wasn't even close to 3.5 pounds. I came back and looked at some literature that I had, a magazine that had some information on it, and they said 6 pounds. Will the Apex aftermarket trigger bring that down to 3.5 pounds?
It should. Everybody, literally everybody I know who shoots competition with the Smith & Wesson M&P uses an Apex trigger in it. I don't know that I know anybody that doesn't use an Apex trigger in their M&P. So it should take care of it for you. And unfortunately, big companies sometimes are prohibited or are reluctant to put really, really good triggers in guns. I'm assuming you're talking about using this for competition, right?
No, I'm not. It's just going to be, I farm and live on a farm, and it will be carried with me on the farm, not as concealed carry, not anything like that. I'm looking for the optic. At 66, my eyes aren't working well, and I do have an RMR that I have on another pistol, and I would like to have an optic on on something different.
Okay, and the core, for those who don't know, is set up to take optics, put red dots on it very easily. So I would say get the core, get the Apex trigger, and for those who may be wondering, the Apex is not going to get you down. It's not going to be a quote-unquote hair trigger, but it's just going to be a good trigger. And I would certainly recommend doing that. I think you have figured out a really good pathway to get to where you want to go with this.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely. I appreciate the call. Again, our number is 866-TALK-GUN.
Holsters, the most comfortable concealed carry holsters on the planet, announces the Galactic Green Gun Giveaway. Enter to win 2 Alien Green custom-coated firearms along with 2 limited edition Alien Gear holsters. Just make a fun video with your Alien Gear holster, then upload it to YouTube. Be creative. The top 2 videos with the most votes win. Visit aliengearholsters.com for voting and contest details.
Brownells has always given you an advantage. With their huge selection of forever guaranteed gun parts, ammunition, shooting accessories, and more. And now, they're offering you the Edge. For just $49.95, Brownells Edge covers your standard shipping and any return shipping cost for 1 year. Brownells Edge members also receive discount expedited shipping and exclusive offers. Get the Edge today by visiting brownells.com/edge.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Making news 30 years ago, the modern internet made strides when 5 supercomputers were linked to form a network. It was the same year ARMSCORE entered the U.S. market. What a coincidence. Why not use the internet to celebrate? Get big online discounts and rebates on the world's #1 selling 1911s from Rock Island Armory and quality ammunition from ARMSCORE. Get yours at armscore.com/guntalk. ARMSCORE, USA strong for 30 years.
All righty, we're back with you. 866 Talk Gun gets you in here. 866 Talk Gun. I want to get right to it because we got lots of folks who want to talk about, well, guns. Kirk's calling in from Troy, Idaho on line 2. Kirk, what are you looking at here? Or maybe do you already have it?
Yeah, I've got the Tikka T3 Light 223 caliber. Mm-hmm. And my question was, can you shoot 5.56 out of it?
The answer is certainly yes, you can. Now, according to the manufacturer, they may say, well, please don't. Because it's a bolt-action rifle, I think it can handle slightly elevated pressures. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. But there is a question here. And looking at the Tikka website, I see that they offer 2 different 223s. One has a 1 12-inch twist, and one has a 1 8-inch twist. Do you happen to know which one you have?
The 1 8.
Good, because 1 12 is not going to get it done for most of the 5.56 loads out there. Almost anything heavier than 60 grains would be tough to stabilize with a 1 12-inch twist. So, if it were me, now, don't hold me accountable, any of that stuff, but if it were me, I would not worry about it in the slightest. I would shoot it because that's a good, strong action, and it's not like a semi-auto where you'd have to worry about it a little bit in terms of bolt velocity or anything like that. I think it'd be good to go.
Cool. That's great. That answers my question.
Let me ask you a question. You have the Tikka. We're talking about those today. We've had some questions about them. Can you give us a range report on your Tikka? How do you like it? How long have you had it?
I've had it for 3 months. I sighted it in about a month ago, and at 100 yards, about an inch high at 100. And I was shooting roughly 3-inch around in the target. I had a 3-inch spacing between shots, but I'm not the best shot in the world, but it does seem to shoot pretty well.
Yeah, I would actually expect it to do better than that at 100 yards off of a good solid rest. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if you shoot off of sandbags. I think we caught you in the middle of a traffic jam there. Look, I appreciate the call, sir. Yeah, every Tikka I've ever heard of shoots considerably better than that one. So just kind of a thought. If you're not using sandbags, there's actually no way in the world to know how well your rifle shoots. They've got to be locked in on sandbags and not moving at all. Hey, Jerry is in Texas on line 3, somewhere in the Panhandle. What you looking for, Jerry?
Yes, sir. I've been trying to find some 44 Russian brass to reload. Mm-hmm. I've reloaded 44 Special for, 40-some-odd years now. But I kind of had a problem finding me some 44 Russian.
Okay. Well, it's not something you're going to find in your local store, but I've got a phone number you could call to get some.
Yes, sir.
The folks at Starline Brass in Missouri make it. You could order it online, but it might be easier for you just to give them a call. If you got a pencil or anything to write with there?
I'm right. You said Starline Brass?
Starline Brass, yep. And their phone number, it's a toll-free 800 number. It's 800-280-6660. Right, it's 280-6660.
3 6s and a 0.
That's it. And if you give them a call during the week, I'm sure you could order brass directly from them.
Okay. Well, I'd sure like to just load up some of them just to kind of play with them a little bit like I do my 44 Special.
Now, what are you shooting 44 Russian in?
Well, hadn't shot it yet because I hadn't found the brass to reload. But I've got 3 or 4. I started shooting 44 specials about 40 years ago when Charter Arms came out with that little thing.
The bulldog.
And the little bulldog. I've got a bulldog pug right now that I found a few years ago, and I got one of those Skeeter Skelton Ruger specials. But whoever that distributor was, that only had 5,000 of them made, and I love that thing.
Huh. I'll be darned. Well, and I don't remember who that was, so I may have missed out on that one, which is probably good, because if I'd known about it, I'd probably bought the thing in the first place. So there you go. Look, I appreciate the call, but if you give Starline Brass a holler, they can sell you some 44 Russian brass, and you can have some fun with that. So why not? Good fun thing to do. Let's see. Ray is on line 4 out of South Carolina. Hello, Ray. You're on Gun Talk.
Hey, Tom. I was looking for a book. I got a friend who's a school teacher in Washington, D.C., who has a little aversion towards guns, usually out of a lack of knowledge. He asked me what would be a good book for him to read during the summer in order to learn a little more about guns and the laws behind them and all that.
What area, what part of what area does he want to know about?
I think to start him off, maybe about probably somewhere around the statistics of safety versus crime, and the stuff that scares people. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, I got 2 suggestions for you then.
Okay.
One is a book. If he's a teacher, he might like this one. The name of the book is That Every Man Be Armed, and that's by Richard Holbrook. And it's a very good book, kind of the history of the Second Amendment, and that's a really worthwhile book to have. And then the other, believe it or not, is going to be a website. It's gunfacts.info. Gunfacts.info. And when he goes there, you can get a printed version or you can read it online, but it's got just a gazillion facts about use of guns, gun safety, suicides, misuse of guns, guns used to save lives, gun laws, accidental deaths, government laws. It just goes on and on and on. So any particular thing, if he wants to know about ballistic fingerprinting or microstamping or guns in other countries,
that'll probably be a bit much.
But the thing is, he can bite it off just a piece at a time just by clicking on these various links. It's very good. So I would very much suggest the gunfacts.info, as well as That Every Man Be Armed by Stephen Holbrook. Excellent book, and I think a good way. And then do this. Tell your buddy, look, after you read one or read up a little bit on those, offer to take him to the range, take him shooting with you, because that is a really good way to inoculate people. Have him shoot some low recoil guns up close, have some success, and then I think it'll all come together for him. Look, I appreciate your call, and I appreciate you being willing to help a friend sort all this out. Chances are most of us have somebody we know who is not real good on guns or has questions. That'd be maybe a fair way to say it. They're not sure because they've been misled by the general media. It's our job to help educate them, not by beating them down, but just say, well, what have you heard? Start off with a question. What have you heard? What are your concerns? And then you just kind of say, well, we're the safe guys. We're the ones who teach gun safety. It's a process, and you can be part of it. All righty. Hey, we're back with you. Tom Gresham here. I just typed out a little note here because we've got some fun stuff going on in the gun world here. I'll be telling you about some news here in just a minute. But first, I want to talk to Terry on line 1 out of Kentucky. Hey, Terry, what you looking for your wife?
Hey, Tom, long-time listener. Talked to you a few times. I listen to you every week. I'm even working on an old podcast, and I'm calling you on your GUNTALK app right now.
Oh, cool. Well, I appreciate that.
My wife really liked the LC380, but as you know, it has the trigger like the old LC9, and the logical step is for Ruger to have a LC380S. I know you got a special relationship with them. I just wondered if you heard anything or you could twist their arm.
I have not heard a thing about that. You would think it would be logical. Let me back up. The LC9 was okay. The LC9S is like the heavens parted and the angels sang, and it is fabulous. The LC9S Striker Fire version is a superb pistol. I think as a carry pistol, it is just right up there. And I will tell everybody's going ooh and ah over the Glock 43 these days. I think the LC9S, in my view, it shoots better, it feels better. I just like it more, and it's like a third less the cost. Let me ask you a quick question here. Is there a reason why she wouldn't want the LC9S?
She tried it, and she didn't like the recall. And as you've told us many times, don't tell them what they want. So we went to the range. We shot a number of guns. I took your advice, did the whole thing. She liked everything about the LC380 except the trigger pull. But gotcha. She liked the trigger pull on the LC9S, but it's just a little too much recoil to suit her.
Right. I'm wondering, thinking, well, I guess here's the first thing is, no, I don't know what Ruger's going to do. They don't tell us ahead of time. Well, they can't really, because they're a publicly traded company, so they can't be just letting everybody know what they're going to do. I would hope they would bring out the LC380 and a Striker Fired. In the meantime, do you have any idea if she would be interested in I'm thinking about the little SIGs in 380. They have great triggers. Now, it's a hammer gun. It's almost like a little 1911, and they shoot great, and they look good.
She actually loves that 238, but I believe that is a 1911 style, and I was a little leery of her carrying it that way.
Well, and, I understand what you're saying. I guess the only question is, how does she carry? If you're going to carry a P238, it has to be in a holster. You can't just be loose rattling around somewhere because it is a 1911 style. So, and it is a single action trigger, which makes it a great trigger, but also it's a single action trigger. So if she could carry in a holster, even if the holster's inside of a purse, that's a good option because it does have a great trigger. But I'm just not sure, it's going to be up to you, and eventually it's going to be up to her to figure out what's going to work for her. Man, I'm such a fan of the LC9S. I just wish there were a way to get her the training she needs or somehow get her to where she could shoot the 9, because almost every woman I know can shoot a 9mm if taught how to hold it and lock arms in and lean into it and get aggressive. I mean, it's basically an aggressive, athletic move. It's leaning forward. It's like, think of when you're going to punch somebody. That's what you do. You spread your feet apart and you throw your weight out. That final move where you've got your fist going forward, imagine putting both fists out like that. That's how you should be when you got your gun. It's athletic, you're locked in, and I guarantee you it will really help control the recoil. Hey, don't go far. We'll be right back.